Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and these are the rest of the cards for Life's a Hoot. This is the card making workshop kit. And down in the lower right corner is an envelope, and I did the same envelope for all the cards. It's the little swoop of the butterfly with the butterfly at the end of it. So that's my decorated envelope. And I just wanted to show you that if you're going to start a project, you need to finish it. There are 16 cards here to make, and I will tell you it took me a while to do this, but I'm glad I've got all these great cards ready to give, and I just gave one just this morning. So I'm going to play some music, and you can watch the factory at work. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
I am more than just a friend, and I will be there to the end.
Okay, this is project 3, and I am back. I just wanted to say a couple of things about this. So I'm starting on the last of the four cards. So I did the first one, and these are the last 3. So I'm just going ahead doing my dovetails. But I have a problem in here someplace. Okay, so something it didn't get recorded. I'm sure it was operator error. So I'm just showing you project 3 from my first video on this, so you can kind of see how the cards go together. And I'm just sorting that for the pieces that I need with this. So there's a thin and a thicker wisteria, and these are just going to go together, and then I pull down my little bee that is going to go on this. So I'm putting Tombow on the darker side of Glacier for the lighter side to show up, because I just think it looks better, and it's probably what they suggested. But I'm going ahead and doing the dovetails again, and this is really simple. Don't be afraid of this. Just kind of eyeball up the center and then do a angle cut from the corners to meet, and you'll get it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Good grief, nothing has to be perfect, because we're sure not. So I'm making the design on this piece, and you make it with the little swirl for the butterfly or bee trail. And so I'm just kind of, putting a little curve and loop and what have you, just wherever, and have it go off the page so it kind of bleeds over. And that piece is going to go next to the more narrow piece. Now this is going to be, I love this technique. This is generational stamping. So I'm going to put the happy on a narrower block, because you always want to. There's a line on the block so you can line up your letters. So that's a very handy tool. So this is, like I said, this is generational stamping. So there's first generation, second generation, third generation. And so that faded things is just kind of a cool technique. And then I'm going to put birthday down at the bottom. So there we go. Very simple technique. I've used it making football layouts for my son when he was in high school playing football. And I'd take a football and I would do generational stamping to kind of follow the football. So that was kind of cool. So this is the last project of the whole card kit. So I'm going to put this here, but I decide to do something a little different here. Now these they're, I don't know, they're half, or they're not quite, they don't look quite 3/4. Anyway, this is the way to do it. Put those 3 little dots on your smallest 1" by 1" block, and just be careful to tap ink on lightly, and this way you're not going to get a lot of added ink onto this little strip. It's real easy to get the block in the ink. So you just want to keep an eye on it at all times so you don't get smudges where you really don't want them. And don't press too hard on this little piece, because then the dots get a little bit distorted, nothing real bad. But if you just do a very light touch, then the dots maintain their shape. So I'm going back and now, and I put it on the light side of Glacier, just so you know. And for some reason, the way they had you cut, you left a little bit of white on around that wisteria. And then you line up your other pieces like that. Well, I don't like how I lined them up because there's a little bit of white showing. So the next card, I'm going to show you the adjustment that I make. Okay, so this is going to go down, and I'm just kind of putting it, I'm eyeballing a center on it. And this is going to be the sentiment. I'm looking for another piece. As it turns out, I don't have another piece of that somehow. Maybe I cut it up and didn't mean to. Anyway, I have one that's just a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut down the white piece to match and hope that the sentiment still looks there. I noticed that there was quite a bit of space on either side on the first card that I did, and so I'm thinking, well, if I just take off like 1/4 of an inch, it shouldn't be too bad, and then it fits with the 1/8 inch showing all around. So I made an adjustment because I didn't want to go cut up a whole piece of Glacier cardstock, and I'm sure that maybe I did a miscut, didn't kind of cut it the right way, and ended up with a piece that was slightly too small. Who knows? But this, I'm making it work. And so I like this sunshine and happiness. Now that is, a sentiment that you can use for anything, most anything. Anyway, I like it. Just kind of a little cheery thing, and it gets its little dots. I love those little accent dots. Just so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the middle of that watercolored wisteria piece. And it goes from the edge of the wisteria almost to the end. And so I'm putting some little dots on my loop-de-loops. And since it's going across, you don't need the whole thing. And so and then, there's a little piece of zip strip that goes right there with also the loop-de-loops on it. And then I've got 2 little gems that go at the bottom. And so I've got my little bees. No, these are butterflies, aren't they? So I'm coloring all 3 at the same time. That, just save a little bit of time. And these are small enough that you don't need to be too, don't have to get too crazy with it. So I'm using my shimmer brush. This has really come in handy. I'm really glad that I did this because it adds the shimmer, but it just blends the colors really pretty. And little sparkle always helps. And then the little butterfly goes up there in the corner. So this is going to go over there. What I've decided to do, and this is a better way of doing it. So put your printed piece on the edge first, and then put your sapphire, and then put your dot pattern. And they go from top to bottom. And then, you can center the wisteria. And see, that works out much better. Then I don't have any white showing on the left-hand side of the card. And this is the one that's a little bit shorter. And see, it makes no difference at all that it's just centered to the card. So, you know, it worked out just fine. Fortunately, I lucked out. Take luck any day, believe me. Some of us need more luck than others. So there's my butterfly, and this is a technique for putting those sparkles on. Just kind of put the sparkle where you want it, then put your finger over it and pull the sheet out. Then you kind of get it just where you want it. It's definitely a great technique that I saw one of the consultants using, and it's like, okay, that's just too smart. So, and I mean, you've seen me shoot the gems across the room with getting them off with my tweezers. So that's always fun. But using your finger to kind of, I mean, since it's a see-through background, then you can see where you're putting it, and then just, you know, hold it in place with your finger and pretty firmly, and then slowly pull the little carrier sheet of the dots out, and you've got it right where you want it. Really, really good little technique. So there we got it. And then we've got our little loop-de-loops going on the bottom. And I really like this card. I think that one's real pretty. It's pretty darn amazing because it's got, I think, 9 or 10 pieces on it. And I'm putting my little butterfly on the back. It matches the butterfly on the front. And besides that, I like that little butterfly. And now I'm going to do my envelopes. And so I've got the 16 envelopes there. And what I've kind of decided to do is put most of my things away, number one. But I'm going to use my little butterfly trail and the smaller butterfly. And I'm not going to use the glacier. God, I just made a mess on my glacier. I need to clean those off. They get so messy when, you know, ink can be messy. But that's okay. So I'm making the trail, and I'm just going through and doing all 16 cards, making a trail. So I love that loop. See how many loops there are in this kit. You've got the loops on the zip strip. You've got the loops on the trail. You've got the loop-de-loop on the thin cut. So, I mean, it's kind of fun. And then this butterfly has got loops on the butterfly design. So, and now I'm going to put a grape. So I made a sapphire trail and a grape butterfly. And that's me decorating my envelope. Because I like to decorate the back of my card, and I like to decorate the envelope. And it's not like a big deal decoration. Sometimes it's just a second generation of whatever stamp I used on the inside. But I really like having a little something on the envelope. So there's all my envelopes. And now I'm just going to spread my cards out. And, oh, I forgot to put my loops on the project here. I think that's the second project. I completely missed putting my loops on. Whoops, get the extra excess of glue off. And I'm glad I saw that. I was wondering why there was an extra sapphire loop-de-loop that was just hanging out up above my table. So, you know, I really like these cards. I'm real happy with them. I've already used one. Gave it to a friend this morning, and I was meeting her for coffee, and it's just, they're perfect. They're really happy little cards, and they just bring a kind of a cheer, kind of a smile to your face. So those are 2 projects. I decided I kind of want to try to squeeze all of them on there. I don't know if that's even possible. Anyway, I'm bringing all the rest of them in. I don't want you to see too much of how messy my table is. Whoa. Ooh, I like that one. I like all of these cards. I have to tell you, I really like all those cards. So 4 projects. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith.
Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.